Hi, and welcome to Homeschool Advice with Laura Geis. I'm Laura Geis, author of the Homeschool Toolkit and founder of HomeschoolAdviceOnline.com. This week's homeschooling question says, how do I use extracurricular activities to teach life lessons to my child? That's a great question. I think a common misconception about homeschooling parents is that we keep our children locked up in our homes all day long and don't want them to socialize with anyone else. And from my experience, that couldn't be further from the truth. I know my kids are involved in sports activities and church activities and music activities. So how can we use those activities to teach our children valuable life lessons? And there are some valuable life lessons that can be taught, like responsibility or communication, time management. We can teach our children how to strive for excellence. So today I want to talk about responsibility in a few really concrete ways that you can teach responsibility through extracurricular activities. And the first one is, a lot of extracurricular activities involve equipment. When my kids are going to soccer practice, they're supposed to take a water bottle, a soccer ball, they have to be wearing their shin guards, or if you go to swimming practice, you need goggles and a towel. So all that equipment that they have to keep track of. Give your child responsibility for that equipment. Show them how to put their name and phone number on the equipment in case they leave it behind. It can be returned to them. So when they get a new piece of equipment, show them how to label it and take responsibility. Another way that they can be responsible for their equipment is by having a specific place where they store it. When my children took guitar lessons, they kept their books in a canvas bag and set it by the piano, and that way when we were ready to go to guitar lessons, they just had to grab the bag and we weren't scurrying around trying to gather everything together. One year for Christmas, I gave all of my kids a small duffel bag, and that way when they have their sports activities, they can put all their stuff in those bags and it's all in one place. But teach them how to do that to make their lives easier so they're not always running around trying to find all the stuff they need, 5 minutes before practice is ready to begin. Another way you can teach responsibility is to teach them how to make a list of the things that they need to take to a practice or a game so that they don't forget something. When my kids were little, I helped them make a list and they kept it in their swim team bags, and it said, do I have my goggles? Do I have my towel? They might need a snack or a water bottle for different activities, but show them how to make a list so they don't forget anything. I know even when I'm going shopping in the city for a little while, I'll make a list of the things I want to bring with me. So teach them how to do that. It teaches responsibility. And finally, if there is any type of uniform involved in their activity, make them responsible somewhat for that uniform. If they're younger, they probably aren't going to wash the uniform themselves, but they can be responsible for making sure it gets in the laundry basket so that it will get washed. And my kids, I have some older kids, and they've been doing laundry probably since they were between 10 and 12 years old, so they do wash their own uniforms. But I know one of my sons this summer had a soccer game, 2 games back to back, like on a Friday, Saturday, and he didn't put his socks in the laundry. And I got everything else washed, and Saturday rolled around and all he had were the stinky socks he wore the day before, and that was too bad for him because he didn't get them in the laundry. So teach them responsibility. Just last night, I was driving one of my kids home from swim practice, and he said, "Oh, I forgot my goggles." And he said, "Can you go back and get them, Mom?" No, I'm not going to go back and get them. I'll drive you back and you can go inside and get them. So make your children responsible and use these extracurricular activities to teach your children responsibility. Now, if you haven't visited me yet on www.homeschooladviceonline.com, I'd love to see you there. You can ask a question that I can answer in a future episode of Homeschool Advice with Laura Geis, or you can download a free homeschool planner, but I'd love to see you there. Talk to you later.